let's get it. Um, William Soot and George Not Found has been in a crossfire recently. You know, a month like what the fuck is going on in the Minecraft community? Like this type of shit right here is just ruining Minecraft as like a fucking genre as a whole, bro. Because so many, so many motherfucking weirdos, so many cupcake dwellers. I don't even know how the fuck this even comes about. I already watched part one off stream, so
So in part 1, we talked about how the 10 million subscriber Minecraft YouTuber GeorgeNotFound had allegations of being inappropriate with a girl levied against him by the streamer Caddybugs. And the day her allegations came out, he went onto Twitter to clarify that he was going to do a serious stream reacting to
the
it
Minecraft
later
community is supposed to be wholesome. Exactly. Yo, Gilbert, you here,
that
bro?
day, and that he would never break someone's sexual boundaries or assault anyone. Caddy reacts to George saying this by quote tweeting him and sharing this
Wait, what is this? We are waiting. Pull whatever you can find. I also have screen recorded everything. Why didn't you do that in the first one? I plan on using it to support my case if needed, but please share it on my behalf if you like. Because we both know what happened. That's why I can sleep. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, that's a red flag. I meant to say can't sleep. Well, that's why I can't sleep at night without scrambling for screenshots and try and twist. That's why you're scared because me and every other creator knows the truth. And you do too. That's something you have to live with. Yeah, I was naive, but I had rooms to change, to grow up. 8 years exactly. And when I'm your age, I'd be 10x the person you are. And you will always be the 27-year-old still acting like a child. I am not scared of you anymore. I've been waiting so long to say this, but you're a fucking coward. Goodbye for now. Jesus.
image that says, "We are waiting." Pull
Oh, he was gonna read it. God damn it. Sorry about that.
to Caddy by saying, "Thank you for being so brave." Setting Sunset responds by saying, "You really came in with the steel chair. So proud of you, and you are so strong. Enjoy your break, lovely. You deserve it," and so much more. Ev the Beloved retweets Caddy with this gif of someone writing fire, and the caption, "Yes, I was naive, but I have room to change, to grow up. 8 years exactly, and when I'm your age, I'll be 10 times the person you are. Get his ass, Katie!" Maya says, "And you will always be the 27-year-old still acting like a child." And she cleared because this man refuses to accept the fact that he's about to hit 30s and isn't in high school anymore. Ari quote tweets her and says, "So basically he assaulted you by putting his hand on your waist, and then after this accident, even though you felt assaulted, you still kept coming back to him and kept cuddling while smiling at him. Even 2 weeks after the incident, you still texted him, yet you now claim you were a victim?"
Ooh. That's a bold claim right there, Ari. That's a really bold claim. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't think a lot of people even learn from the whole Quite situation. Because I remember the time there was this person like accusing Quite of literally everything. And people was gunning at Quite, bro. People were gunning at him. But as soon as he shows every receipt, everything, he even showed his face, people were saying, "Oh, I apologize to Quiet." It's just like, bro, like this is the thing, bro. You gotta wait for the other side of the story before you gun at people, bro. Because this type of shit can literally ruin people's life, bro. People are fucking insane, bro.
And if you're
Goddamn.
wondering how Ari has all of these details, well, he's actually referencing George's response, which he finally did after announcing it earlier that day. Here is what he said in response to the Katie allegations that we showed in part 1.
Recently, a streamer named Caddybugs went live and told a story involving me about sexual assault. So in this stream, I'm going to be addressing it. I'm going to be telling the whole story, so it might not seem like everything is completely relevant, but I do need to tell the whole story for it to make.
Oh, okay, before George before George says this thing, I can't read that fucking chat. God damn it. What did you say? Oh, she full of shit. She claims that she was tickled at the party and a bunch of Twitter users Twitter losers were gaslighting her into believing she was assaulted, but in reality she wasn't. Facts. Oh yeah, Gilbert, I gotta make you mod, by the way. Let me make you mod. But yeah. This type of shit right here is the reason why being friends with a certain type of people can literally lead you into fucking trouble, bro. Like I've learned is just talking to motherfuckers on the internet, bro. And I'm not saying that I wasn't the brightest bunch. I do say some stupid ass shit. But it's just come to an opposing. It's just coming to this point where it's just enough is enough. But they're still going at it. This is what happens when you're friends with people on the internet. It's what happens when you're friends with people on the internet. Not a lot of them are bad because I've met some really great people on the internet. Example Gilbert. He's a really good person. I relate to him the most. But there's so much people that can literally just be alright with the shit that you said, and then one other thing that they turn, and then next when they turn on, well, if they hate you, they can literally just use every single of the shit that you said and just twist everything into one big fucking nothing. It's crazy out here, bro. Just talk to people in real life because it's a lot better than just talking to motherfuckers on the internet because they could literally just ruin you just like that, bro. For no fucking reason. It's not like that case all the time, but it's literally that case like most or half of the time. And she was just doubling down on everything, just making things worse and could potentially ruin his career. Yeah. That's the reason why, because look, I watched Breon's video on this thing, and he said that Katie didn't show any sort of proof, any sort of screenshot, no recordings, nothing. It was just a bunch of he said, she said shit. And I was like, bro, did nobody fucking learn from the Quiet situation, bro? And the Dream situation? Nobody fucking learns. It's no wonder we're fucking doomed, bro. It's no wonder we're cooked. Because people don't learn. Stupid. Anyways.
Makes sense, and to fully inform you guys, this is my side of the story of the 2 times that I ever interacted with Katie Bugs in real life. First time that I met her, it was in Dream's hotel room at VidCon. To give context about Dream's hotel room, essentially it was a bigger room than average. It's not just a bed in a room like a typical hotel room is. There was a living room, there was a table, and the bedroom was kind of separated from it. And for this reason, we used his hotel room essentially as a place where all of our friends could hang out in. VidCon is a 4-day long event, so we actually used it quite frequently throughout these 4 days. And we had creators, friends in and out of this room throughout the whole event. First night that I actually met Katie, I was with Dream in his hotel room, and Dream was in a group chat with 5 other people. These 5 people included Katie Bugs, her best friend, and 3 other of her friends. Now, these 5 people, they're at an official VidCon.
Yeah, I'm gonna react. I see you. Sorry, speech impediment. But yeah, I know about the whole Wilbur suit situation. I'll talk about that soon. But right now, this GeorgeNotFound.
They wanted to
because I can't wait about the. Oh yeah, apparently Wilbur's suit was biting girls too. The nigga was biting girls. How old is Wilbur? Because there's no way, bro. This nigga out here biting girls, and this nigga is 27 biting girls. I'm fucking God. What is up with these Minecraft motherfuckers, bro? This nigga's 27 biting females, bro. Nigga, are you that hungry? Do you need some McDonald's, my nigga? I don't know if I can. Shit, but goddamn, nigga. This nigga is 27 biting girls, bro. The fuck? Minecraft YouTubers, they're all the same, bro. For real. I think the only few Minecraft YouTubers that's safe is this Dan TDM guy and Stampy Longhead. I don't know about the rest, but George, dude, Minecraft YouTubers are on some deep water right now.
Hang
Sorry.
Dream actually didn't want to hang out with them, and the reason is because at the time he was wearing his dream mask a lot. He even suggested that they shouldn't come because he was assuming that they were having more fun.
What if Ghosty and Katie come back with me too? Maybe. I don't know what my friendos are up to. Okay. I'm still at Corn Dog with some friendos, but leaving shortly. Want to play that game from last night? It might be just us four for the bit at least. Well, make it fun. I don't want to take them away from the party.
Where they were. They reassured him that that wasn't the case. They were bored and they wanted to.
Wait, what? There's another creator getting accused of being a groomer too, which I'm leaning more towards them being bogus because she claims he was 20 while she was 17. T Nichols, Gilbert. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about T Nichols. I just now heard about that on shit. I'm about to say kick TikTok. You're talking about T Nichols. I know who you're talking about. Are Ghosty and Katie have fun? Not really. That would be okay if we could come over, which is inappropriate, but not even remotely close to pedophilia. Yes.
They want him to come. So now these 5 people are trying to come to the hotel, but the problem with that is to get into the hotel, you need to have a VidCon creator badge. And only 2 of the people in the group chat actually had this badge. That was Katie and her best friend. So eventually what happened is Katie and 2 of her other friends came to Dream's hotel room. This was my first time actually meeting them in real life. I didn't even know who they were before meeting them. And then we essentially just were playing drinking games in the hotel room, just having fun, talking with each other. Nothing crazy in particular. Now, one thing Katie said retrospectively, looking back at the scenario, is that I was flirting with her throughout the night and that she was uncomfortable with this because of our age difference. At the time, she was 18 and I was 26. She actually assumed I didn't know her age because she had never said it. But then later, I had actually DM'd her on Instagram. And because of this, she says that it is confirmed that I know her age. To give some context to this scenario and to why I didn't know her age, my perspective of things is that I am with people that are over the age of 21 in a scenario where we are doing things that people that are over the age of 21 are doing, like drinking. And also the people that came from an event where they had very heavy security. This was an official VidCon after party. And with previous VidCon after parties, I even had problems getting into these events. There was one time where they didn't let me in because they couldn't confirm the legitimacy of my UK ID. They said they weren't trained to look at foreign IDs. So they didn't even let me in despite me being 26 at the time. And also since Katie's stream, I've gone back and reviewed texts from the time. And there was actually a picture where it was shown that they had this 21 plus wristband on one of their wrists. So from my perspective, it's a bunch of 21 plus year olds hanging out. I have no reason to think otherwise, other than her Instagram bio, but I just didn't see it. But anyway, nothing actually particularly happened at this first night that we were hanging out. Everything was very friendly. We went our separate ways, and that's the end of the first night. So we wake up the next day, we do VidCon stuff, and again, the same scenario happens from the night before.
Sorry, I just gotta read this chat. And the crazy part is, if she truly believes she was assaulted, why did her friends not do anything to help her? That's facts. And plus, she keep bringing up the ages, even though they were both legal adults. Like, I don't care, you're both adults. Facts.
Trying to get him to go out to another party that they were at. Same story, Dream didn't want to go, but was open to them coming here. And again, that is what happened. But this time, their friends were actually all able to get in. I don't know how they did it, but Katie, her best friend, and 3 other of her friends ended up coming to the room, which had me, Dream, and my online friend that I just met. So 8 people total in this room at this point. This night was very similar to the one before. We were just hanging out, playing games, drinking, and just having a good time. So something I actually want to point out before I continue with the rest of the story is the way that she phrases some things in her story. Instead of saying that her and the rest of her friends actually wanted to come to the hotel to hang out with us, she said that one friend was invited by Dream, but she didn't want to go alone. So then they decided to go along with her because they were willing to go anywhere. I just think it's important to note already that the story is slightly different from the reality of it. And I'll be mentioning this a few more times throughout the rest of the story. You can see in these screenshots from the text at the time that they were all trying to come to the hotel, and it wasn't just oh, we're willing to follow her, essentially. They were all in the group chat and part of the discussion to go to the hotel. I also chose to mention my online friend. It doesn't really add to the story, but she never mentioned him or the eighth person that she brought with. So I'm just saying it because that's how it happened, and I want to make sure the story is straight. Another thing that she talks about is how we insisted that she drinks more and that we insisted on playing drinking games when this isn't the case. Again, they had already been drinking at this party before they arrived to the hotel room, and they had also been the ones that were asking to play the drinking games. So instead of us insisting that we play it, they were actually the ones that were asking us. And you can see that in the screenshots here. They had actually texted multiple times, specifically wanting to play this drinking game that we had played the night before. And at this point, I was pretty drunk, and so was basically everyone in this room. It was the last night of VidCon. VidCon's a pretty stressful time, and honestly, a lot of people are happy when it's over. So at this point, we then moved to the couch. There was a couch in the room, and I sit next to Katie. She also says, looking back on the scenario, that she confused her nerves for excitement when I sit next to her. But again, at this moment in time, everything was friendly. Nothing sexual had happened. I'm just literally sitting next to her on the couch. And during this, she was laughing, smiling. She gave no indication that she was uncomfortable with me sitting this close to her. She also mentions that she was thinking about my age and that I was a lot older than her. Again, she was 18 and I was 26 at the time. And again, to clarify, I actually didn't know how old she was, despite her claiming that I did, just because it was in her bio. And it was clear to anyone there that she was not uncomfortable with me sitting next to her. And eventually, two of the people that came to the hotel room left. So then it was just down to me, Dream, my online friend, Katie, Katie's best friend, and a sixth mutual friend. Next, she says, this is a quote, resorted to playing games on her phone to avoid the awkward situation. Now, I just don't see how this is the case. She's implying that she is using her phone to essentially escape, such an awkward scenario that she's in, but that's just not how it happened, and this is why. She brought up the phone game as kind of a point. The game was honestly the central point of the interaction at this part of the night. It was a very social thing, she was moving passing the phone around, we were all playing the game and bantering about it, just having fun with the game. So I don't see how she resorted to it and was using it in that context. She wasn't being awkward at all. There was no sense of uncomfortability from her. She was laughing and playing with everyone. I'm not really sure why she phrased it like this. We actually continued to send each other high score updates even weeks after the event. To add further context to this moment, we were all actually sitting on the couch that was in the hotel room playing this game on her phone. During this, me and Katie were at the far end of the couch and we were cuddling together. We had been cuddling for, I'd say, around an hour at this point, playing the game, talking, just having fun. And for clarity, I had my hand around her waist above her clothes. So with her statement where she's saying that she's resorting to playing games on her phone, I just don't really understand it. And I think that the picture that she's painting is really dark, when in reality, she seemed very happy with the situation. I also want to address a fact that she claimed. She said that she had answered a question about her age during a drinking game, and we were talking about sex, and that she admitted to everyone in the room that she was 18 and a virgin at the time. I just don't remember this happening. I'm not saying this to just pretend like it didn't happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I did not hear it happen. We're not just all sitting down and not moving. It's it's a chaotic environment. I could have been getting a drink. I could have been talking to someone else. I just did not know that was said. Another quote from her stream I want to address. She says, there was more alcohol in the room and we were encouraged to drink some more as they offered the bottles to us. They said they would join us in drinking and insisted on drinking games. They had already been drinking before they arrived. They were drunk, and the way this is phrased, it makes us out to look like we're kind of preying on them and forcing them to drink when they didn't want to, when that's not the case. And as I mentioned earlier, they were even the ones asking to play the drinking games via the texts before they had even arrived. So then, this is when her most important claim happened.
Crazy.
She says, out of nowhere, I felt him slip his hand under my clothes, sitting next to me on the couch. He disguised it with a simple, are you ticklish? I coughed out a no, and still staring at my phone, I was overly aware of the fact that we were in front of other people. The fact that everyone else was sitting around us, watching us, including my best friend, and that his hand was inching further to places I hadn't asked it to be. Again, as I mentioned before, we had previously been cuddling on this couch for around an hour, but I did place my hand on her waist under her shirt. The way it's phrased makes it sound like it just happened out of nowhere, when in reality we'd been cuddling for over an hour at this point, and it was not out of nowhere. It was also around half an hour until I started moving my hand further up, and the way it's phrased just makes it seem like it happened pretty instantly and pretty quickly. There was nothing quick about it. It was very slow, and I was very cautious about it and making sure that she was comfortable throughout the process. Me and Katie were very touchy, very cuddly, and very slowly got more intimate. I've always been overly cautious with consent, and this is not just because I'm a creator. I've been like this since before I was a creator, and I think that's just the way I am and just the way it should be. Nothing came out of nowhere. Everything progressed very slowly throughout the night. And also, before I continue, I want to make it clear that the furthest anything ever got was under the shirt touching and cuddling. Now, obviously, people don't typically ask if everything is okay, even such as touching someone's waist under their shirt before they do it. But in this case, I was extremely slow, and she was engaging with me the entire time, laughing, cuddling with me, and even playfully fighting me for the game that we were playing. Again,
yeah, this is gonna be a long video. Man, this dude should not respond to losers like her. She's full of crap and just stupid and dumb. Yeah, like so far, it just kind of sounds like, you know, she's just twisting everything into something that big of a fucking deal. Like, look, all I'm saying right now is just, I'm not on either side because neither one of them, like, he's showing proof, but it's just like, I don't know, dude. This type of shit right here is the reason why. Like this type of shit is the reason why, like, being friends with a certain people can get you in a lot of fucking trouble, especially with a fucking YouTuber or a streamer, bro. Because as soon as you made one tiny mistake, they're gonna make a whole bunch of accusations saying that, oh my god, this nigga all word me. He didn't ask for my consent. This motherfucker groped my fucking boobs. Like, the fuck? You know, and then all I did is just fix her fucking mistake. She was just looking for like a thing that she left on the kitchen. And it's like, oh, it's right here. It's right here, right next to you. And then the next thing, she goes on Twitter just making all sorts of fucking accusations on you. I'm just like, all I did was trying to help you. What you look at what you're fucking looking for, bro. And then you're making up all this shit. Yep, that type of shit right there. Be your friends with creators or Twitter warriors. That is not it, bro. That's the thing, bro. Be your friends with creators. It's just dangerous at this point, bro. Crazy, bro.
Quote that she said, he disguised it with a simple, "Are you ticklish?" I coughed out a no. She's implying that it's with malicious intent, and that she coughed out a no would also imply that I should be able to tell that she was uncomfortable with it. She says, later, he made a game out of my embarrassment where he would touch me in certain areas to make me lose the game I was playing. Now, I actually remember this quite vividly. I remember she was playing the game, and there were parts where it would be very easy to lose if you were distracted. And she's right, I did do that. There were points where she was playing the game, and she was at a point where it was easy for her to mess up, and I would, for example, tickle her or like squeeze her, and when I did this, she would laugh, she would turn around and smile at me, or she would play fight with me because I had just made her lose the game. She also says how I didn't.
Dude, that's fucking insane. That's fucking insane if that's true, bro. That right there is insane. Bro, so play fighting her, tickle her or squeeze her. She laughed and looked behind you and smiled. And then she twisted as like an assault or something. Boy, I'm telling you, bro. Hanging out with females is dangerous now because, like, she took play fighting as assault, bro. I don't believe this shit at all. No fucking way. That is crazy. Not even gonna hold you. That shit is crazy. Like, why would she fucking do that? Why would she fucking do that? And that's the thing with niggas just twisting shit, bro. That's the thing with twisting shit. Because, like, niggas can make a whole sorts of joke here or there. And then they made a twist. And they made a twist and they just like, oh, nigga's a PDF file. Just like that. Fuck, bro. So he was play fighting her, and she took that as assault. Yep. Y'all better get y'all phones ready if y'all want to hang out with females, bro. Y'all better get y'all phones ready. Because as soon as she pulls out some stupid shit on Twitter, on YouTube, on all of this shit, you got the proof right there that she was alright with the shit. Consent, everything. Shown that shit. Crazy, bro.
I remember being afraid to even breathe. I stayed there for a while, hoping my stillness could make me disappear. Now, to reiterate, anytime that I did this, it was met with her either smiling, laughing, play fighting with me, and there was no reason for me to believe that she was uncomfortable with it. She was not moving. She was not speaking. Of course, I don't believe that silence is consent. I just want to make sure that it is abundantly clear. She was visibly and physically responding well to everything that we were doing. I also want to comment on how she said that she had to stand up after many minutes for it to stop. She did get up multiple times throughout the night, for example, to go to the bathroom, to get a drink. Also, when her friends left, she got up to say goodbye to them, and she would come back to the same scenario. I also just want to point out that her best friend was here during this whole process. Then afterwards, she did leave. And I think it is important to note that she made the choice to stay behind for many hours more. And as I mentioned before, she did get up, say goodbye to them, and came back. We were even talking about staying up to wait until 11 a.m., which was the checkout time of the hotel, since it was the...
Keep in mind, she was 18, a legal adult, not a minor, but a legal adult, meaning she needs to learn how to set boundaries if she's uncomfortable with something. Fucking facts, bro. Absolute fucking facts. People, oh my god. People just don't learn today, huh? They just don't learn.
The final day, we were like, oh, I don't know if we want to go to sleep for a few hours, might as well just stay up. But that's not what ended up happening. And it's at this time that Katie says that I went to leave, and the older guy then decided to leave too. This is phrased in a way that makes me look kind of creepy, to be honest. She's basically saying she left, so I decided to leave too, which is not the case. What actually happened is Dream had decided he was too tired and was going to bed. So the night was over, and we all left. She then goes on to tell a story about the elevator and how I joked about it being broken to try to get her to go in with me. So Katie actually had her own hotel room on the same floor as Dream. So she actually didn't have to take the elevator. She walked me to the elevator when she didn't have to and said goodnight to me, which was nice of her. I did joke with her about coming in the elevator by pretending that it was broken. I went into the elevator, the doors closed, and I would press the doors open button to make it open again. I did this a few times, and she didn't go along with it, which I respectfully took, obviously, and ended up just going down to my room. So yeah, she didn't have to take the elevator, yet she chose to walk with me to the elevator to say goodnight to me, which I think is interesting given how she's saying how she was so upset with it. And that's essentially the end of the story. This is actually the last time I've seen her in person. We messaged for a bit after.
Boy. Females are getting way too fucking dangerous, bro. They're getting way too dangerous. Not even gonna hold you. They are getting way too fucking dangerous. Can't even hang out with a female without them just twisting everything, bro. That is scary as hell. Because like you could just find a female attractive, right? You could just literally find her attractive. And then she finds you attractive. And then y'all hang out, y'all hung out, y'all did a lot of touchy shit. Next thing you know, she goes on Twitter or TikTok, tells a story about you fucking sexually harassing her and essay her and all this shit on fucking Twitter and TikTok. And then got a lot of people just believing her and all that. I was like, bro. That shit is scary, bro. Bro. If this shit is true, bro, Katie, bro, you a fucked up person for that shit. You are a hellish person for that shit, bro. Because essentially you're just making a lot of niggas getting very scared and very skeptical about the females that they're hanging with. Because like they have to check every foresight. They have to record fucking everything in order for them to get some sort of proof. Unless you like reveal some shit on TikTok or Twitter saying that you like you essayed her and all this other shit here and there. Bro. That shit is scary, chat. That shit is scary, bro. Shout out to the people that still has girlfriends, bro. That don't be on this fucking timing. Because, bro, I feel sorry for niggas that had to deal with that type of shit, bro. Not even gonna hold you because, boy, that has to be some rough ass shit right there. And you know what the thing is? Niggas don't give a fuck about. People don't give a fuck what the man has to say. Why? Because he's a man. He should take all the falsely accused shit that the woman is spewing on her. He should take all of that shit. Why? Because he's a man. That type of rhetoric right there that type of shit right there can literally leads niggas to fucking suicide, bro. That type of shit right there leads niggas into fucking suicide. Why? Because people won't believe the fucking dude. They only believe the woman. Why? Because they're a fucking woman. This type of shit can lead niggas to fucking suicide. I've been through that shit. Bro, this shit pissed me off, bro.
Through Instagram DMs and Snapchat, and the way that we talked to each other was always pretty banterous. For example, after the first night that we hung out, but before the second, she'd actually texted me and said, "You better not be in Dream's room tonight, or I'm gonna shoot your leg. We're just messing with each other." And I'd actually responded to her and said, "Well, guess what? I'm actually here right now." And yeah, after this, we texted for a bit, sometimes daily, sometimes we would take a few days break, even a few weeks at some point. And at some point after VidCon, we were actually both in London at the same time, and she let me know this through her DMs. Now, I will say she didn't come out outright and say I'm in London. She did say that she'd gone to a place that was known to be a London thing, and I commented on that and said and asked what she was doing in London. And just to clarify, we did not meet up whilst in London, nor make plans to do so. She was always extremely friendly to me. I was friendly to her. I was very shocked to hear her say the things that she did say during her stream, and then when she started saying more and more details, I realized, wait, this is about me. I was very confused, very shocked, and didn't quite know what to think, given I had no impression of any wrongdoing throughout this whole relationship that I had with her. None at all. Like, it was, if anything, it was the opposite. I thought we had a pretty good relationship, despite the fact that we actually hadn't talked in a while. I thought if I had seen her in real life again, everything would be fine and we would be friends. It was actually around this point, after VidCon had finished and we were messaging, that I found out her age. And since then, I never pursued anything going forward, and I essentially stopped messaging her. Her last message to me was August 1st, 2023, and I haven't replied to her since then. After I watched her stream, I was pretty confused. I didn't understand how her account of the story had been so different from what actually happened. A lot of the facts that she said just didn't happen at all, or were phrased in ways that just make me look as bad as possible. Saying things like, I insisted on her playing drinking games, or that she was frozen in place, or that she was scared. She was having fun. She was enjoying herself. She was showing this with her body language, with the way that she smiled, the way that she laughed, and just her overall general demeanor. Now, one thing that I think is very important.
Wow, bro. Fucking wow. So, in all of the shit that she said on the video and on Twitter, she said that, oh, he was doing a bunch of this, that, and a third to me, which was pretty uncomfortable. But in reality, quote unquote, allegedly, she was just having fun. This is why people like that should not be having fun. Because they're just twisting everything in order to fit their own narrative. That's the crazy part. That is the crazy fucking part, chat. You can be having all types of fun, all this thing. But don't go to Twitter or TikTok or YouTube or whatever the fuck, twisting the entire fucking story in order to gain clout out of it or sympathy. The fuck is wrong with you people?
Important to differentiate here is that I do believe that she regrets being affectionate with me, and that really does make me feel terrible. I never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable or regret their interactions with me or anything along those lines, regardless of if it's sexual or not. And I'm truly really sorry if I contributed towards that. But what's important to differentiate is that she was uncomfortable with this after the fact and not during. She says, quote, "At the time of it all, I convinced myself I was lucky. I was lucky that it had happened to me. I was excited to be around such big creators, to be at that convention in general." Now, actually, I've had a similar scenario to this where I was in I had a sexual experience with someone where in the moment I was perfectly happy with it happening, but then afterwards I regretted it. And I'm not saying this to get any form of sympathy. I'm not looking for that. That is not the case at all. I'm simply saying this because I can see the similarities in the situation. Now, I'm not mad at the person that I was in this sexual experience with at all. I have no negative thoughts on them. I simply did not like how it ended up, and if I could go back and not do it, I wouldn't have. I wanted to do it in the moment, but then changed my mind later, which is completely valid. You're completely allowed to feel that way. But what isn't okay, and I think is just completely unfair, is to act as if I am the bad person in the scenario because you changed your mind later. I also want to separate this from abuse and certain scenarios that other people have dealt with recently or just in general. I think it is completely fine to come to terms with your abuse over time and realize that it was bad for you and a terrible situation to be in, and to then look badly back on that person. That is completely valid, but this is different. Again, this all happened within a 4-hour period, 3-4 hour period, and I was not given any sign of discomfort, unhappiness, or anything along those lines. And again, it was the opposite of that. She was happy, she was laughing, she was smiling, and as far as I know, everyone else in the room would have thought the same at the time. So now what I'm thinking is, why would she come out and say it like this? Why is she saying this? Now, I don't think she's...
Most likely clout. Clout or something on the... Dude.
purposefully being malicious or trying to hurt me or ruin my career or anything like that. But what I do think is that she is surrounded by a friend group that completely despises me and my friend group. But I think after VidCon, she obviously had told some of her friends about what happened. Whether or not that was in a negative connotation, I do not know. I wasn't part of these conversations, of course, but she clearly told them about this scenario. Now, when these people that are around you all completely despise me and my friends, they're obviously going to look on this poorly. To add context to this, she actually mentions in her stream, "I remember a friend seeing me in the lobby on the way, and they were worried by the way I was acting and asked if I was okay. I was really drunk, and it was an eerie feeling like they could sense something."
When I graduated from high school, I got... Oh, you drink. Okay. I got drunk and I'm 19, meaning I made the conscious decision to do that. I wasn't assaulted, manipulated, peer pressured, or gaslit. I made that decision. Exactly, bro. Exactly. I don't know why Katie's doing all that shit, bro. Thinking that he peer pressured her into drinking alcohol and shit when she literally made that decision. She's literally not taking any form of accountability. That's the thing, bro. You are an adult. If you make those type of choices, don't blame other people for your own fucking choice, you idiot. Stupid.
Something was wrong. Now, this person is in Katie's friend group, and they were concerned that a group of 5 people were going up to Dream's room to join 3 additional people, which is an interesting concern to have. I actually have heard from another source that overheard this conversation and thought it was quite strange that she was worried about this. Now, I think it seems very likely that after 8 months of you being around friends that hate me and my friends and constantly talking badly about us publicly as well and privately, obviously that is going to affect the way that you view the experience, and it's going to make you look at it differently. You're going to second guess it, you're going to be thinking about it, and clearly it changed the way that she thought about it. And I just think it's completely unfair to judge me and my actions based on how you feel about it now 8 months later versus how you felt at the time, because at the time you were not uncomfortable with it. And I know I'm repeating myself a million times, but I have to. You were smiling, happy, laughing, playing along with it, everything.
So after GeorgeNotFound came out with...
Fucking insane, dude. See, hanging out with people like her is absolutely fucking dangerous, bro. Like, why did they do this shit, bro? Why did they do all this shit? This type of shit makes no sense to me. This actually set my mind up, because I don't even know why why you do all this shit. Chat, this shit is scary as fuck. This type of shit is scary as fuck, yo. No, I don't drink. I just decided to take a shot with the fam. I don't really like beer. Okay, gotcha. But like, bro, why did she do all this? Shit doesn't make any sense to me. Bro, like, I'm gonna have to record, bro. I'm gonna have to record almost everything so that I won't be filed as this, that, and the fucking third and shit. So that the whole Twitter mob or these niggas with lesser brains than fucking Patrick Starr come after me. Talk about, oh, this nigga's a monster. Yeah, that type of shit.
With his whole perspective on what happened that night, someone else who was also there, which is the YouTuber Dream, joined in and gave his perspective of what happened that night on Reddit. It got reposted by Mari on Twitter with the caption, Dream just posted his perspective and opinion on Reddit. The post is titled, My Honest and Open Point of View, Dream. Based on hearing both the recounts of stories, being there myself, and talking to everyone that was there afterwards, George's recounting of events is much closer to what actually took place. I think people expressing that someone did not consent to touching or cuddling because they did not verbally speak it is extremely dishonest. You can clearly consent without verbally specifically saying something, just as you can nod your head to say yes. Silence is not consent, but I was there, and although I did not know any sexual touching had taken place, I can say for a matter of fact that their interactions were extremely positive throughout the night, and she had many opportunities of separation, even getting up and down off the couch and laying back with him after the alleged sexual assault took place, and her best friend leaving after what took place, and her choosing to stay for hours. No one that was there had anything but positive experiences to share until many months later, and I was shocked to hear anything at all. Everyone was already drinking, and in no way was them drinking along with everyone else an inappropriate action. Everyone was drinking and everyone was in and out. Yes, she was not 21. No, it's not a normal thing to stop creators at a convention, or anyone for that matter, from drinking because of that. Many of the people I've seen criticize this fact already have very publicly drunk many times with under 21 content creator, and are not being impartial.
That's okay. So Dream basically just, confirmed that George was pretty much right about it. Because everything was positive at the fucking event. So yeah.
I will agree with George in saying there's a group of content creators that have a very large hatred for me. I'm not exactly sure why. I have some ideas, but it's been going on for over a year now. Multiple of these content creators have spread total lies about me, and take any opportunity they can to spread negative rumors. Katie is not one of them, to be clear, but she is friends with many of them, and this is even something we discussed in person. I obviously can't say for certain that this has anything to do with what she said, but I can assume it had an impact on the lens she viewed George through. One of these content creators that used to be on the Dream SMP spread that they asked me about the grooming allegations when they happened, and that I proceeded to ban them from the Dream SMP Discord server to hide it. This is completely false. They were never banned from the Discord. They left randomly themselves. I answered every question they had over text and volunteered to answer any more. This lie was incredibly harmful, and still has effects to this day. This is one of the many lies or exaggerations they've spread. Both Katie and her other friends there spoke about how this group in the UK, who Katie is best friends with, despise me, and they are not sure why. I talked positively about change, and hoping one day they would come around.
See, like, Dream even said that yeah, George is not lying. And it was on a DreamCon hosted by me, yours truly, Dream. So yeah, this is honestly fucking dangerous, bro. Look, dude. Who thinks of this shit? Like, I don't know how... Bro, this is crazy.
Months after the incident, one of this group tweeted accusing me of bringing 18-year-old girls at VidCon to my hotel room to drink. I was shocked at this, and immediately looked into what he was talking about. This was 2 months after VidCon. He was talking about this. I didn't know Katie beforehand,
VidCon,
and she
not
was
DreamCon.
already drunk and drinking, and essentially one-plussing with an overage friend of mine. I even suggested they don't come. After this is when I had a conversation with Ghosty, Katie's best friend who was there, about what he was saying, and how it was ridiculous, where she agreed. I was confused as to why he was saying what he was saying, as it was about me, and no one that was there had any any idea what he was talking about. Katie was avoidant of clarifying anything to them or defending me, and was careful with how she worded things and texted me about it. It was speculated by everyone that was there that night that it was because she is good friends with the UK group, and she didn't want to lose them as friends if she defended me or my character, or said anything positive over text. Both Caddy and Ghosty expressed that their interactions with me were not representative of how the UK group talks about me. We talked all positively afterward about those nights, and even talked about meeting up again. I had no impression of anyone having any negative opinions about anything at all that happened at VidCon, even after directly talking to and asking people there specifically about it. I feel terrible for Katie, and I believe she genuinely has extreme feelings about this, regardless of how they formed. I am sorry that I at all contributed to this negative period of her life. I would hope that she knows that I had absolutely no negative intentions at all. I really thought she was a great, fun person to be around. I do not feel bad for any of the people masquerading as heroes though, that they are doing so for personal vendettas, in relation to this or other accusations,
That's the type of shit I had to deal with too. Loki thought that person was a good person. Turns out he has some skeletons in the closet that a lot of people don't know about. So this shit right here just doesn't really make any sense, bro. This is horrible, bro. This is
including my own. Just like you should not trust that creators are always good people, you should not trust that creators' supportive actions are always done with good intentions.
Facts.
Many creators that express to me behind the scenes that even if the allegations are true, they wouldn't care because they are not a big deal, are some of the same people that were later praised for no longer associating with me due to these allegations. Many creators never asked me any questions at all, even sent private messages of support, and then chose to ask me questions the same day I had drama with another creator they were better friends with. Many creators pretended to not be associated with me publicly, making jokes off the potential abuse, while privately being positive to me. Other creators dropped me as soon as I was no longer working on projects they were heavily invested in, but were perfectly fine playing dumb when it benefited them for their next big stream. Many creators that knew about this specific situation for a long time and hated me long before it continued to make slights, without me ever having any idea why they were doing it. They publicly attacked me far more than ever saying anything negative towards George, even though I had no idea of anything remotely about this situation being a thing, and they thought that he was a horrible assaulter. It's incredibly obvious to me that this is because they already hated me, and not because they care about any potential victim, even if they are close friends. Creators are not always who you think they are. Even the ones that seem the most proactive about supporting victims can be using vulnerable people to push their own agendas, whether it's their audience, actual victims, or
Oh my god, that is so facts, bro. That is so facts. This last shit right here is so fact. I know someone like that. Can be using vulnerable people to push their own agendas. That is so fact. I know someone like that. Oh, holy shit. I fucking know someone like that. That shit is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy, bro. Like, this all of this shit is done and over with, bro. All of this shit is done and over with, bro. Even making friends is a fucking chore nowadays. And I thought making girlfriends was fucking a chore. This is just more work. And you ain't getting paid for it. Or getting genuine sort of friendship out of it. No, you're gonna get clobbered and fucking cucked. Who knows? Motherfuckers are assholes behind the fucking screens, bro. Damn.
friends. Support victims because they deserve it, not when it benefits you. I will never stand for abuse, and have shown that on many occasions, even with my closest friends, even my best friends. I feel like this post has been very negative, so I just want to end this positively. Most creators aren't like this. There's a lot of good in the world. There's a lot of kindness and honesty and love.
Yeah, Dream, but it's like not many people are like connected with those kind and hearted, loving people because they're always surrounded by bad people, bro. I've always been surrounded by bad people, and that builds a habit of me being a shitty person, even though that was never my intention to begin with. That's the thing, bro. You hang out with somebody bad and you create a bad habit out of that shit. That type of shit is fucking dangerous, and people should literally look into that shit because it could literally ruin people's life. It literally ruined people's life, bro. Think what happened to Inquisitor, bro. They have a lot of people. There was these like 2 to 3 people that was accusing Inquisitor of being like a pedophile or some shit. Nigga had to kill himself live on TikTok, bro. And then those same people that accuse him saying that, oh, we apologize, da da da. That shit right there is absolutely fucking dangerous, bro. People can literally do that type of shit. And it happened to me too, bro. Over old ass shit, and people still going at my neck about it, bro. We talked about it. I took accountable about it. And then I never spoke about that person. I never made that same mistake again. No, they just keep coming at me for that shit. Over old ass fucking shit. Led me into almost ending my fucking life. Bro, like you people think that you're doing this for fucking justice when you're just doing this shit just being fucking assholes, bro. You want me to change, but you're not allowing me to change. You want me to be this fucking heinous ass nigga just so I can fit your fucking agenda. Just so I can benefit your content. What's wrong with you?
There are so many creators that are fair and kind and truthful, and no one should give up hope on creators in general. It's just like everywhere else in life.
Yeah, bro, I already gave up hope a long time ago. I already gave up hope. There's no hope for me, bro.
Balance.
Hope for anyone. Who knows? People are just always surrounded by bad shit, and that's why we got people like Neon roaming the fucking streets. Insane. But, you know, that's just fucking life after all.
That is just amplified on social media as everything is under a microscope. I don't think all is negative, and I think having these conversations is important and helpful for everyone, including victims and anyone learning and growing. This is all I have to say, as there is no more information to be gathered, and I would like to end the horrible cycle of drama for myself at the moment. Haley responds to Dream's Reddit statement that Mari shared on Twitter by saying, it's almost like she was drunk. She sat back down with him. She was drunk. Their interactions were so positive. She was drunk. You cannot consent if you're drunk, especially if you weren't verbally consenting. Like, what?
She literally said that she would wanted to. She literally said, "Let's do a drinking." All right. Whatever.
Smiley says, GeorgeNotFound still sexually touched a girl without verbally asking her, and he didn't know her prior at all. That's creepy as fuck. Also, victims act weird sometimes when they are scared, and may feel trapped when.
Okay, so if it's creepy as fuck and all this other shit, why did she look back at him and smiling at him? Why did she look back at him and smiling at him? What?
When they aren't and stay. I don't really.
She literally could have just said, "Yo, I'm not good with you touching me like that, bro. You gotta stop that." No, she didn't say all that shit.
Though. Joe says, why is he posting this on Reddit? He posted his feelings on the Wilbur situation. What's different about this one? Kay says, I believe that it's possible both Katie and George are being truthful. Assuming they are, though. I don't understand why they appear to think Katie coming out with this was supposed to be some sort of malicious attack on the Dream Team out of dislike for them. Kavos reacts to GeorgeNotFound's response by showing Aimsy's response to George that we showed in part 1 and saying, GeorgeNotFound just released a video clearing up these SA allegations. Let's not forget the absolute pieces of shit who played judge, jury, and executioner on such serious life-ruining allegations, and who didn't even want to let George speak. Richard C. responds to Kavos by saying, going to throw in some legal info for those who aren't in the know. Silence is not consent as misinformation. There is a legal doctrine called mistake of fact as to consent, which argues that, given context, a reasonable person would have thought there was consent. Nicholas Diorio says, so when are we going to be exposing the people buying Caddy's alcohol all weekend, getting her into 21 plus parties at VidCon, and bringing her up to rich YouTubers' hotel rooms? Seems pretty irresponsible.
Yeah, that one's pretty fair. It's getting to the point where everyone wants to be a victim of something they have a victim complex. Yes. Oh my God, a million times yes. You hit the nail on the coffin right there, Gilbert. You hit the nail on the fucking coffin. That is complete facts. People have a victim complex. And I know the exact person who has a victim complex, bro. The exact person. Proof and all that shit. Wow. Y'all niggas really want to be victims that bad, bro. And the nigga was 20 years old. That's crazy, bro. Get a goddamn hobby.
Well, no. When do those names get leaked? When are we going to hear from Katie's friends? God, I hope no one who left their drunk 18-year-old friend in the famous YouTuber's hotel room tries to moral grandstand. Hunter tweets about the situation by saying, I hope every commentary YouTuber gets thrown in a cell forever, dude. What the fuck do you mean you want proof that someone was sexually assaulted? What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck do you even expect to receive as proof? Do you expect women to Nvidia shadowplay them getting assaulted? What the fuck? There is nothing wrong with believing victims, my man. Britzel responds by saying,
What?
The same dude who spent a week shitting on Pokimane for selling cookies. I play myself responds with a deleted tweet from Hunter that says, if Dream or GeorgeNotFound saved your life, that shit is worthless. They comment on this by saying, you were cooking here, and then Hunter responds, people were wishing suicide on other people in the quote retweets, and I felt bad. Zilux responds to Hunter by saying, don't like any of these people, but I'm genuinely concerned with our society if we're now saying fuck evidence, and just trust everything every person says.
That's facts. That's facts.
Hunter responds, that's not what I said at all. And then Zilux responds, you said that if someone says they were SA'd, to believe them since they're no good enough proof, to see it as anything otherwise, am I wrong? It's easy to say these things like that when the allegations aren't being thrown at you. Michael responds to Hunter by saying, who said that? And then Hunter responds, I'm pre-firing because I know that pussy Lorex is gonna say it. The greatest worst replies, you just know Tom Dark is gonna say it.
This Tom Dark. Yeah, she literally said that one brain cell statement. I have to process that.
Tom then responds to Hunter's tweet by saying, this kind of mentality is absolute cancer. On one side, there are people who immediately call potential victims liars. That should be pushed back against. But cases like Quite and Dream, who were both falsely accused, it's clear false accusations do happen. Calling these girls who accuse Wilbur and GeorgeNotFound liars with no proof of such is insane.
Facts.
It's just as insane to immediately believe them 100% with no evidence. And say people who don't should be in a cell forever, dude. The most responsible position to take with allegations is to exercise caution. Don't relentlessly shit on potential victims, but be open to the idea that the other side of the story could change things completely. Riley says, you typically don't ask if you can touch someone's waist. Fucking jail? Malachi Rose says, and to say this right after being like, I'm overly cautious about consent? M says, not everyone does. Life is not black and white. This situation is not black and white. A lot of physical human communication is formed through body language, which can be misunderstood, especially when alcohol is involved, which is why verbal consent and discussion is important. Cam quote tweets Riley and says, I need everyone to remember that this was a teenage girl who had just turned 18. He was only 2 years off of being over a century older than her. Go to hell, you disgusting piece of shit, GeorgeNotFound. Riley quote tweets herself by sharing this clip from George's response video and saying, electric chair,
Fucking Christ.
GeorgeNotFound.
Clear that the furthest anything ever got was under the shirt touching and cuddling. Now, obviously, people don't typically ask if everything is okay, even such as touching someone's waist under their shirt before they do it. But in this case, I was extremely slow, and she was engaging with me the entire time, laughing, cuddling with me, and even playfully fighting me.
Love George Forever responds, bro, they were cuddling and she was completely fine. Riley responds, did you skim the part where he said the furthest anything got was cuddling? And under the shirt touching as a 18-year-old and a 26-year-old.
They're both fucking... Okay.
Burner1234 says, honestly, I'm with George on this one. He's pretty much explained it in a way that's really realistic. You were just angry because you've been on Twitter for so long. You just forgot how real life experiences are when you were drunk. Grow up, man. Keemstar clips this reaction from a Minecraft streamer to the entire situation and captions it by saying, GeorgeNotFound tickled an 18-year-old drunk girl's tummy, and this is the reaction.
My friends or anybody else as a scapegoat for your fucking sexual abuse is disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, okay? My friend cried in my fucking arms about this, and you're on stream denying it all, denying the fucking hurt that you caused to her. You are disgusting fucking people. You and all of your abuse sympathizer friends, you are all fucking
Drink some water.
horrible. Seriously, you are so wrong for trying to displace this fucking sexual assault onto anyone but yourselves. You are a 26-year-old man, 27 now, trying to fucking put the blame on 18-year-olds that you don't fucking know. What the fuck is wrong?
And that's the end of the reaction to GeorgeNotFound's response. But things escalated when Katie responded again, as well as George and Dream making new responses about a day after their initial ones. It's a bunch of crazy stuff that's going on in this situation. It's absolutely wild. So if you don't want to miss the continuation of this in part 3, don't forget to subscribe to this channel with notifications on.
Holy fucking shit, bro. Holy fucking shit, bro. This type of shit right here, bro. Like, this shit crazy. This shit is crazy. Bro, Minecraft was supposed to be about peace and peaceful shit. But it's just like... Wow, dude. Crazy as hell. Now we're going to watch this response, my response. It's like 2 hours ago. And it's 27 minutes. Alrighty.
For those of you who don't know, Katie Bugs recently did a stream and accused me of something very serious. I made a response, and then she made a follow-up response. This is my response to her follow-up. Throughout this video, I'm going to be showing clips from some other people, just for context, and just to make it clear.
It's just crazy. Well, I can barely hear him. Yeah, I can barely hear him. Guess I'm gonna have to turn the volume all the way up. Hold on.
I don't want any hate to be sent to anyone, including these people. Here are the 2 tweets that I posted about the situation. These are now deleted as I only made them to let people know that...
Okay, I'm gonna have to turn this down. Yo, Gilbert, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to remind me to turn these down because yo, we can play some very loud ass fucking shit, and then y'all ears is gonna be like pop open or some shit.
I had intentions to make a response, and I didn't want people to think I was just completely radio silent in the time that I needed to make those responses. First of all, I just want to make it clear that my tweet that I put out after my first statement wasn't somehow admitting to guilt or completely backtracking on what I originally said. My perspective had changed due to new information that Katie had provided, so now I'm just going to go over Katie's new statement and talk about what she had to say. So first, she acknowledges the texts that I showed about them talking about wanting to play the drinking games are real, but that they were from her friends. So this is reasonable. I only brought up that point because the implication was that it was kind of creepy of us and we were forcing the game on them.
There was more alcohol in the room, and we were encouraged to drink some more as they offered the bottles to us and insisted on drinking games, and, already drunk, I obviously complied.
In reality, it was mutually talked about and everyone was just having fun. So next she mentions that one of the reasons she wanted to hang out in our hotel room was because there was another creator that was in the room, but then that creator didn't actually end up being there. Again, reasonable. I didn't know this at the time. There were people in and out of our hotel room throughout the whole event, so she could have potentially heard of anyone being there. When her group was on the way to the hotel, she was messaging me, bantering about whether or not I would actually be there or not, and that made me think that she wanted me to be there. But I don't know, maybe she didn't care and she just wanted to see the other creator or just to be with her friends.
What's going on? Not saying she should have her life ruined forever, but something needs to happen that just humbles her. Most definitely.
Next, she shows our Instagram DMs, and she said that the reason she kept messaging me in a friendly way for a while after this whole thing happened was because, and this is a quote, she felt lucky to be talking to a verified account, someone famous, someone I had followed and watched for a while. Now, this is not something that I was thinking about at all. I wasn't aware that she ever watched my content in the past. That was never brought up. This actually makes me feel pretty bad. The only reason she was messaging me was because I have subscribers or something. I would never want that. Again, the only reason I actually brought up us messaging after the fact was to show that we were still friendly afterwards, and that I didn't know that she was uncomfortable at the time. She also confirms that we did talk on Snapchat, like I said, but also that nothing really happened there either. The next thing she talks about is the elevator. She said that we left at the same time and that her hotel room was on the other side of the hotel. So there was like kind of 2 corridors connected by an elevator room in the middle. So she's saying that she was just going past the elevator to get to her room. And again, this is totally reasonable. I brought this up because from her stream, the way that it was told kind of implied that I followed her out and then that she waited to take the next elevator instead of getting in with me while I tried to convince her to get in. I'll just play the clip of her saying this so I'm not speaking for her.
I went to leave, and the older guy decided to leave with me. We walked to the elevators, where I didn't get on. He then pretended that the elevator was broken.
You know what the crazy thing, bro? She literally read this shit out of her fucking phone. That shit low-key sounds scripted as hell, bro. That shit low-key sounds scripted. Because she literally read it word for word on her fucking phone. You can't tell me that shit isn't sketchy, bro. That's legit some scripted ass shit. George didn't have to use his phone. He just is speaking from the fucking heart. Yeah, that's why I couldn't take anything she said. Yeah, exactly, bro. See? Gilbert learns from the Quite situation, bro. None of these niggas learn from the Quite situation. What's wrong with you niggas? Y'all need to go the fuck outside. Smell some grass, bro. The outside is beautiful shit. Fucking sun. Sun could be beaming in your face, bro. None of these cold AC and you're blowing in your face. No fan. No goddamn shit, bro. Damn. Dude. I can't believe people literally take what she said seriously, bro. Because like once I first saw this thing, I was like, bro, this shit has to be scripted, bro. Because there's no way you're responding to a serious allegation reading word for word on your fucking phone.
And that he couldn't leave.
Fuck outta here.
Telling me to get in the elevator to prove it was broken.
In my original video, I just wanted to clarify this, that we left together because the night was over, and that she was on the same floor, so she didn't actually have to take the elevator. And it seems like she agrees with this now. So next she agrees with me that she didn't mention my online friend that I just met that day. She said she didn't mention him though because he left early and she didn't even know his name. And she shows a text message that she says is from him from the night where this happened, where he says this. Obviously this is implying that he was kind of uncomfortable with what was happening, and also that he knew her age, despite just meeting
Crazy
her.
not
And
a
when I
pocket,
first saw this,
facts.
it's actually majorly changed my perspective on the night, because that would mean that my friend was also uncomfortable and somehow knew her age when I didn't. And even though she said that he left early, my memory of it was actually that he was the last to leave, just before me and Katie left. Dream also came to me and mentioned that this changed his perspective of the night as well, because that would mean that he was essentially the only person that wasn't uncomfortable, and that therefore he should have known. This really concerned me. I kind of was just sitting there like really thinking, how could this have happened? So I reached out to my friend to talk to him about it, and it turns out that he actually didn't send this message. I'm going to play a phone call that I had with him after I found this out, just because I think it gives more context.
What's up?
So there is a text that is claimed to be from you.
Yeah, I didn't send that text. I found out about it when you sent it to me. But yeah, no, that wasn't me. I don't know where they got that from. I didn't ask them for any of their phone numbers or anything like that.
Can you kind of just talk me through your, like, anything that you remember from essentially the entire event?
A little bit before VidCon, I hit you up to hang out, and then you mentioned that you had an extra bed for your hotel. You got there around like 5 o'clock. We just went to your room, like met up. I think it was towards like 9 or 10 o'clock. We met up at Dream Spot. Then it was just us three for a bit.
Also keep in mind, she went straight to the internet, not the cops. I forgot about that. She did went straight to the internet, not the cops. Nobody finds that shit sketchy. But me, you, and other content creators like Tom Dark and shit like that. Wow. If that's not sketchy, I don't know what the fuck is.
And then you or Dream mentioned like just having some people come over and hang out. We were playing, I forget what the drinking game was called. I think it was kind of like Cards Against Humanity, something similar to that. I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary. I didn't really notice any like bad vibes or anything like that. It was a little playful, maybe a little flirty. I noticed you guys were just kind of like playing with each other and just like kind of cuddled up a little bit on the couch. So it definitely didn't seem like she was like uncomfortable, you know? I don't know, it seemed like everybody that was there was having a good time, because I mean we were there pretty late, so I don't really follow like this internet stuff like that, so I'm not up to date with what's going on online. The way she was explaining everything, I mean, at least to me, like it was not like that at all. To me, it kind of seems like a misunderstanding. There wasn't really a thought in my mind that like, oh, this girl like could be in some sort of danger, or she's being like preyed on or anything like that. Because yeah, even though George is my friend, if I noticed him doing anything that I wouldn't want someone I'm friends with to do, then I would, you know, I either would say something about it or not be a part of that situation.
She says that you left early on in the night. Could you talk about that?
I think around like 3 or 3:30, I went to go get tacos. I think I got a party pack or something. For some reason, I couldn't believe I actually went and got tacos. I know for a fact that I got the tacos like extremely late. Like I had to go in their drive-thru even when I was in a car. Like I had to walk through their drive-thru and like order through their speaker. That was fun. I know I left at 5 or very close to that time, because right after 5, I texted Dream that I left open the deadbolt on his door. Right after I left, I texted him that to let him know. I think that was at like 5:10 a.m. Can generally say I had a really good night. That's kind of the impression that I got from everybody else too. Like everybody was having a good time, but hopefully, you know, you and Katie can maybe, I don't know if be friends is the right word, but I hope she feels better about it, because, you know, I feel bad that she feels this way, but I don't know.
Dude, I don't think you should be feeling bad about that type of shit right there, bro, because this just comes out of the fucking woodwork, bro. Because what got you feeling like that? Like, seriously, bro. What got you seriously feeling like that? And again, if a nigga comes out like this, bro, if a nigga comes out with that same type of energy towards a female, bro, I swear to God, bro, people would have gunned him, bro. on Twitter, on TikTok, on literally every platform you can name of, bro. Even MySpace, and that fucking shit is dead. But I'm telling you, bro, I don't know what the fuck got her feeling like that. But dude, that got me not wanting to like hang out with any sort of motherfuckers at all, especially females, because if they're gonna be like that, then nigga, I'm instantly cooked. I am instantly goddamn cooked. Talk about I ain't feeling bad about shit, bro. Because if a nigga feels like that way and he feels like he needs to publicly speak about it and that ends up not being fucking true, they would have gunned his fucking ass to a decree. They would have jumped him. They would have flamed his. They would have flamed his shit, bro. Telling you, bro. Crazy ass.
Kind of bad situation. It's just fucking wild that like this whole situation came from like that night. It was just like mind-boggling, dude. Like I couldn't really believe it. Like half the shit I was seeing. Like as someone that was there, like other ways I've heard it being like described, like from what I was like reading and watching online, is actually kind of insane.
So obviously after this conversation with him, I was pretty confused. Maybe it was like a misunderstanding or something, because obviously they wouldn't just show this screenshot if it was fake, because I could disprove that pretty easily. So I had Dream reach out to get some clarification on it. So they replied back and essentially just said that it was an accident and that Katie had gotten confused on who said what. And I'm really not trying to nitpick anything here. I just really think it's important to make sure that everyone has the full picture of the whole event as it happened so that people can accurately form their own opinion. Anyway, the next thing that she talks about is the cuddling. She said, and this is a quote, "A lot of the touch was initiated by him, probably not realizing it. A lot of the cuddling he may have felt was personal, but it was just me being drunk. I do think a lot of the cuddling was initiated by me, but some of it wasn't. I was also drunk, but my impression at the time was that it was very mutual." She also says that, quote, "I didn't know cuddling was an invitation." I don't think just cuddling is an invitation for anything. I only brought the cuddling up because it's something that she didn't mention at all in her original stream.
We sat on the couch, and the older guy sat right next to me while playing. It was a little after that, when I had resorted to playing games on my phone when it happened.
And again, it's something that I think people need to know about to understand my perspective fully. The next thing that she talks about is that I said she got up and sat back down with me multiple times. She agreed with this, but said that the reason she did this is because, quote, "I didn't want someone I had watched for a while or with a large following to hate me for denying to even sit near him." Now this makes me feel terrible. It's something that she mentions throughout, this power imbalance, but this is not something at all that I was thinking about.
Bro, that's scary. That's scary. That is fucked.
It's something that she mentions throughout, this power imbalance, even sit near him.
I didn't want someone I have watched for a while with a large following to hate me for denying to even sit near him. Dude, that is fucking creepy, bro. You should not. Bro, if you're like a big ass content creator and shit like that, bro, and you sit with a fan, oh boy, you better steer clear from that nigga, bro, or that person, because oh boy, it happened with Dream, now it happened with George. And that's scary as hell, bro. I was just like, no, I would have just low-key mind my business, just be on my phone and shit. Yeah, it's just dangerous as I don't know what. Exactly, bro. Like you said, it's a power imbalance. Boy, that's scary as hell, bro. That's scary as hell.
Not something at all that I was thinking about at the time. She was a VidCon invited guest. She had a hotel room on the same floor as Dream. She was friends with my friends. And honestly, I just never imagined that this is something that she could have thought. And I do think that's my problem. I should have been aware of this, or at least the possibility of this being the case. And I am sorry. I feel terrible about it. I've never really thought about power imbalance at all, to be honest. In that room, I wasn't thinking about, YouTube subscribers or fame or power or anything at all like that. I just saw us all as friends, hanging out, having fun. Again, I'm not trying to downplay this by saying this. It is genuinely something that I'm going to be thinking about going into the future. This comes up again later, and I'll have more to say then. Next, she talks about how I mentioned that she stayed for hours even after her best friend left. She says that her best friend left throwing up in her hand, and that she didn't know she had left. That she didn't make the conscious decision to stay. Now, this isn't my recollection of what happened. I remember Ghosty getting up to
she's
leave
just like
and
clueless
being able to say
about.
goodbye to her.
Was she just like clueless about literally anything at this point? Because like, It's just a bunch of like, I don't know, I didn't know this, that, and bro, I didn't know this was an invitation. Like, it sounds like she's just clueless about shit. She's not like really decisive about what she was saying. That shit is fucking sketchy as hell, bro. If you're gonna make like a serious response or allegations about shit, you have to be like you cannot be clueless, or you can be clueless, but like not all the damn time. That, bro.
I also asked Dream about this, and he had the same recollection as me. We were all drunk, so I can't 100% say for sure what actually happened, but as per my memory, she was aware that Ghosty had left. Also, according to what she said, Katie and Ghosty were sharing the same hotel room together. So the obvious assumption is that they would probably leave together. The fact that she chose to stay, despite not really knowing most of the people there, gave me a pretty positive impression on how she felt about staying there. She says that after Ghosty left, quote, I put up with it in the moment because I thought it was the price I had to pay to be around such big creators. Again, like I said before, this is just not something I even thought she could be thinking, and I'm sorry that I didn't. Next, she talks about me being more touchy as the night went on, and says this, quote, you didn't know me, apparently you didn't even know my age, but you knew what I wanted. No, he assumed it's what I wanted because why wouldn't I want that from someone like him? This is absolutely not how I think about this kind of situation at all. I would never think like that, and honestly, it's kind of an evil way to think about things. Just having the opinion that you can do anything because you're famous or whatever. And I never once remotely thought anything similar to that. And I feel terrible reading those words knowing that you think that about me. I would never think that I'm owed anything from anyone just because I have a YouTube channel, especially in an intimate context. Again, I'm really sorry for this, and it actually has been pretty eye-opening to me, and it's just not how I've ever really thought about stuff before.
It's
And
eye-opening
I
to
don't
me
really
too.
think you're wrong
Shit.
for assuming that I thought like this, because obviously there are people out there that think like that and use that to take advantage of people. And it makes sense that if you think that about me, that you would hate me. But that is not who I am at all. And I just really hope that you can understand that. Now, another thing that she mentioned that changed my perspective on things was that she showed texts from two of her friends the day after, checking up on her to see how she felt. She says, quote, in the moment I was chilling, but thinking back on it, I'm sweating a little bit like, damn. I also don't know if I was chilling in the moment because I was drunk. And this is something that I was actually completely unaware of. I wasn't aware of any uncomfortableness in the moment, after the fact, or even after Katie's first stream. I just wasn't aware that anyone had expressed
I
this.
forgive him. He doesn't seem like a dangerous person, and he feels generally remorseful, even though he didn't do anything wrong. So that's how I ever say about him. Yeah, like all this shit just sounds fucking insane to me, bro. Because like I said, I've low-key been in the shoes before. It's just crazy, bro. Shit, type of shit is crazy. Like George doesn't seem like he was doing anything malicious. He was just being cautious about shit. He was just trying to see if she's okay with it or this, that, and the fucking third. Then Katie comes around with, I'm not okay with any of this shit. Fuck George, not. Bro, you were okay with it with the party, and now you're not okay with it in the fucking response video? Like, make up your fucking mind. Crazy, bro. Even his friends are like, even the people surrounding, even the people in the party or the VidCon shit, even agrees with George. So what the fuck does that say about her, bro? Oh God.
Until I saw these texts. I actually had the opposite impression just because we were all really friendly afterwards still. Dream actually had a conversation about this with almost everyone that was in that room a few months later. One of their friends had actually tweeted about Dream, saying that he was inviting an 18-year-old girl back to his hotel to drink at VidCon, and was implying very negative things about Dream being a predator. So Dream realized this could have only been about Katie, because it was a pretty specific call-out, but thought that it was just being purposefully misleading from someone that hated him. Dream actually had no idea as well that anyone was uncomfortable, and assumed that this tweet was implying Katie was uncomfortable with Dream. He reached out to Ghosty about it, asking what this was even about, and did the same to others, including Katie. Now, I'm not going to be showing Katie's text with Dream, because at the time, Dream had told her that her messages and conversation would not leave their texts. However, here is Dream and Ghosty's conversation about it. I was never brought up or mentioned at all. And also, when Dream makes fun of Harry for being ridiculous and making stuff up because nothing happened and we were all still friends, she said, exactly. She actually spoke about this on her stream very recently, and I don't want to speak for her, so I'm going to play the clip where she clarifies these messages.
The only time that we had a conversation about anything that had to do with that night was obviously when the stuff with Harry happened. And he texted me asking if it seemed like anything had happened. And I, at the time, said no, because the conversation was not about George. The conversation was about him, and it was about the underage drinking, and it wasn't ever about whether or not Katie, you know, it was always just about him and not George, which is why I said, dude, no, nothing seemed wrong, because he wasn't doing anything wrong, and I can stand by that. I will stand by that comment, and I said that in one of my posts that, like it wasn't him. That was our conversation. It was never about George. It was about him and the Harry situation, and it was about at the time had seemed that Dream was one who had taken advantage of Katie, and I said he didn't, and I didn't lie.
And Ghosty, I'm really not trying to use your words against Katie or you. I'm just trying to paint an accurate picture of our perspective of the night. And to do that, I kind of have to talk about everything that we knew. I don't think your words negate at all how Katie felt, of course, but they did affect how I perceived the situation afterwards. Even after Katie's stream, this kind of confused us, and Dream especially, because he thought that this would have come up in these conversations. Now, he was so confused that he was convinced that Harry was essentially being malicious. And he said this, and Ghosty and others there agreed with him. Ghosty even said that her friends should get to know him because she and Katie had actually had pretty negative opinions of Dream before meeting him, but had their minds changed after meeting him at VidCon. This is obviously said about Dream and not me, but Dream looked at this as positive about the entire experience and shared this with me. It seems like Ghosty has changed her mind about this now, but I just think it's really relevant to how we felt about the situation as a whole, and just show this to you guys. Honestly, over the last year or so, anytime a creator has kind of distanced themselves from me, I just assumed it was because of Dream. Dream had false grooming allegations against him, and I assumed that because of this, and my association with Dream, people didn't like me. After Dream posted his video disproving these allegations, I honestly thought pretty poorly of creators that were still negative to me, as now I thought there was literally no reason for it. And now, after seeing Katie's follow-up, I realized that probably everyone knew about this behind the scenes. And I think that is insane. I was walking around with these people at other events, or interact with them in any way, and all the time they were just thinking terribly about me, and I didn't even know, and neither did any of my friends. If I'd seen Katie in person, I would have gone up to her normally. I would have assumed we were still friends. I think this is a massive injustice to Katie. It actually kind of makes me rethink a lot of my experiences with other creators, just looking back on it with this new information. And I don't even know who these people are. And even right now, after all of this information is public and out there, I still haven't had a single private conversation with anyone who knew about it prior to Katie's stream. This is all just to say that I didn't have any idea that there was a problem, and I wish that I had, and I should have. The last thing to mention is her age. Like I said, I wasn't aware at the time that she was 18. I mentioned that they had come from an official VidCon after party, they were drunk, and I made the assumption that, knowing how these events are run, that she was probably over the age of 21, as they wouldn't have been able to drink in there otherwise. Now, they actually said that they drank somewhere else briefly before showing up, and that makes more sense. It is irresponsible of me that I made this assumption, and going forward, I will make sure to explicitly ask for a person's age. And I'm sorry, Katie, that I did not do that for you. I also brought up how, when I was going back through the texts, I found a picture of one of them wearing a 21 plus age wristband, and I showed this picture. Now, this is from a group chat that I wasn't in, but Dream showed me this when I was making my video, and I figured it was relevant to why I was under the impression she wasn't 18. It is now mentioned that Katie wasn't actually the one that was wearing it, and it was just someone else's hand. So in these texts, they say, this is a quote, "Loose ass 21 plus wristband. We have a strat." Now, to explain what this strategy is for the people that haven't really been in a club environment or a place where you would get a wristband like this, essentially they give you this wristband to show that you are over 21 so that you can get drinks from the bar. These wristbands are made in a way so that once they're put on, they cannot be taken off without breaking it. And that's precisely why they're used, to prevent people from underage drinking. But clearly the security that gave the girls these bracelets didn't do a good enough job and didn't put it on tight enough. And this just shows that you can never be too careful and shouldn't make assumptions like I did. And I should have asked for her age. And I am sorry that I did not. This is not a mistake that I will make again. From Katie's statement, it kind of seems...
See? He took accountability for his actions on that shit, bro. Katie? Nah.
Seems like she didn't believe that I didn't know she was 18, and kind of thinks I'm just being dishonest about it. She said that she had it in her bio and that I DM'd her, so she was very confident that I knew.
Later that night, when I left, I received Instagram DMs from him, and in my Instagram bio, in bold, was my age, 18, confirming he knew how old I was.
For context, as you can see here in the screenshot, her age is actually in her display name on Instagram. And because of this, I was also pretty confused how I didn't know that she was 18, as it's literally in her name, not even in her bio. It's in her name. If it was in her bio, it would make sense to me, because I could totally see myself going to her profile the first time I wanted to message her and just clicking message.
Okay, I know, but I can kind of not know. I kind of not know how he can make that type of mistake like that. I'm like 50-50 with that. Not even gonna hold you. But at the same time, I mean, like, should have probably known about that the number is like literally right next to her name. So like, you feel like you could have just, did a little something, some looking back, double check, see if that's actually her age, and the fucking thing is lagging, bro. Of course, it don't last long. Don't care about her age. That we're both adults. Mm-hmm.
message and never really going back to her profile. And essentially just anytime I interact with her was just through the direct DMs where you actually can't see someone's bio. So I actually completely see where she's coming from, and it does seem kind of ridiculous that I didn't know. So because of all this, I actually started to look into this quite a lot because I know that I'm not stupid and must have seen it. But also in my head, I know that I didn't know her age, so it conflicts. So today I actually found out there are two different types of professional Instagram account. There's a creator account and a business account. And for some reason, Katie's account was a business account instead of a creator account. We actually joked about this at the time through our DMs because I was actually able to book her as like a business, and I didn't really know why I was able to do that. And weirdly enough, it actually turns out that business accounts don't display special characters from a username in the username that's displayed. And if you don't know what I mean by special characters, basically just a character that isn't something you can type on a normal keyboard. And because her age and the smiley is a special character, it literally just didn't display it in her username at all. And you can actually see this in a picture that I sent to her during our messages, that her age is not displayed in her name. And you can also see this in the screenshots that I used in my previous video, that her age also isn't visible, despite the fact that her age was in her name at this time. But now actually, as of today, her account isn't a business account anymore, so her age shows up again. And this is a screenshot I took today. Obviously, this wasn't a feature that I knew about at the time, and I actually had to do quite a bit of research today to work that out. So I hope that could kind of clear that up a little bit, and that maybe you can see how I would have seen it. I actually do think that the age difference between me and Katie was a pretty big...
Okay, that makes a little bit of sense.
So
Okay.
I am older than her, and based on what she said, I do have more experience than her. She never went into the exact specifics either, so out of respect for Katie, I've chosen not to give any more details than she did, to make sure that I'm not airing out any information that she's not comfortable with being known. But I have clarified that the furthest things went was under the shirt touching. She did say that the level of intimacy that we had together was the furthest that she'd experienced, but to me, it was quite tame. And when I say this, I am not trying to devalue how she feels about this at all. I'm just trying to point out that we clearly viewed things differently. And this is something that I have learned from now, and I will be taking very seriously moving forward. And I am truly sorry, Katie, for not realizing this and not taking this difference into account. It is clearly something that is extremely important to you, and I'm sorry. Even after everything I've just said, things would be very different if I could just say that I had asked her if she was comfortable and she had said yes. But the fact is, I never did ask this. As I mentioned, there were a lot of things that she said she thought that I wasn't aware of, that if I had known, would have changed a lot. And going forward, this will be something that I take into account in every interaction I have with anyone, sexual or not. I am sorry, Katie, and I'm sorry for how this will affect you going forward. And I'm sorry that everything got to this point. But I just hope that after hearing my perspective, you can understand that I never had any bad intentions and never meant to hurt you. I think that is essentially all the information that I can add to the situation. After her first statement, I actually disagreed a lot with how things were portrayed and was pretty confused by a lot of the details. But her most recent response made things a lot clearer to me. And now I do think we agree pretty much on the order of events. We just don't necessarily agree on my intentions, but again, I do really hope that her seeing this can help with that. There are actually a couple of other things that I wanted to mention before I end this video that are not at all as important as anything else I've said before this, but this seems like the right time to address other concerns that people have had. The first thing that I want to talk about is a comment that I made about Punz's girlfriend at the time, Andy. I was in a call with Punz and Andy was in the shower, and it was known that we could hear Andy as we had brought it up previously within the call. She was talking very sexually with Punz, essentially complaining that Punz wasn't leaving the call to go have sex with her in the shower. I don't remember the exact quote that I said, but this is what Andy quotes me saying. If you don't go in the shower and have sex with Andy, I will. I do remember saying something along these lines, essentially saying, come on, Punz, go have sex with your girlfriend who's begging you to go have sex with her in the shower, or someone else will. But I do understand how this can be disrespectful, and that was not my intention at all. Knowing how she felt after the fact, I do feel bad, and I'm sorry to both Punz and Andy for this comment. My friends, including Punz, we often say ridiculous things, and that's just our type of banter. If anyone ever said something to me about me making them uncomfortable, I would obviously do my best to try avoid making them uncomfortable. But Andy wasn't really one of my friends, so it makes more sense that...
Yep. Sounds like somebody. Sounds like fucking somebody. Sounds like fucking somebody, because usually I just make some jokes or banter and all this type of shit. They didn't say shit at the matter, saying that they were uncomfortable and all this other shit. Next thing you know, they make tweets saying that this, that, and the fucking third. Like, literally, you could have just told me that you're not cool with this shit. But, yeah, you just want to make yourself look like the fucking victim, so, you know, it is what it is. Crazy.
She doesn't really know that's the type of way that I joke around, and I hope that she understands that I didn't mean any harm by it. Finally, something that I've wanted to talk about for quite a long time, but have never done, is the Technoblade charity stream situation. People were upset that I was playing soundboards during the beginning of the stream. For context, this event wasn't intended to be serious or sad. It was a for fun event and to celebrate the memory of Technoblade. A narrative that was massively spread was that I played the soundboard during Technodad's speech, but that actually was not the case, and I had played it during a time where all the creators were in a call just talking to each other before the speech had even started. I actually called Technodad a few days after the event because I wanted to make sure that he wasn't upset or uncomfortable with anything that I had said, and we discussed it all. He told me that he didn't have a problem with what I did and that the public reaction was actually pretty crazy to him. And then he invited me to the next year's event. Another thing that people criticize me for is that I didn't donate to the charity. But again, this actually isn't the case. I donated $2,000 to the charity after the event, but I did do it anonymously, so obviously I'm not surprised at all that people don't know this. I donated anonymously because I just didn't really want to make it about me and just donated because I wanted to. Obviously there was no actual requirement for the creators in the event to donate to the charity at all, and them just streaming to their audience and incentivizing the viewers to donate was enough. Now, I did this specifically by showing the donations live as they came through on my stream. And because of me doing this, over 2% of the donations actually contain my name within the donation message. So I think it's pretty unfair to come at me for not donating to the charity when I was clearly making a big effort to get my viewers to donate. And beside that, I did donate $2,000. I just wanted to mention this. I know it's kind of way off topic compared to the other two things that I've mentioned in this video, but it is something that has been constantly brought up since it happened as a way of showing that I'm a bad person. So I wanted to clear that up. And that's pretty much everything I have to say. So
this was a great response. This was a very great response. This was a great fucking response. Honestly, Katie, I legitimately don't know how the fuck it just came out of the woodworks with all this type of shit here and there. This was a very good response, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. He took accountability of his actions. You know, he explains, you know, that side of the story about, you know, the whole cuddling and shit. It's just something that they could have like displayed to each other instead of displaying it on the internet for us to know about their business. There were extreme lack of communication between him and Katie. And for some reason, Katie just comes out of the woodwork about all of this essay thing. Instead of, first of all, not going to the fucking police. Second of all, reading all this shit through the fucking phone. And third, not showing any sort of proof. So it's like, why do all this shit, bro? I feel as though this type of shit could have been talked about on text, in a DM, or in real life. Instead of display all of this shit on the internet. Because again, and I cannot stress this enough, bro. This type of shit happened to me too. All of this shit could have just been explained and talked about in the fucking DM. Like grown people, bro. No, they wanna put this out on the internet for clicks and shit like that. For fucking validation. It's crazy how the internet people. It's crazy how people just work nowadays. It should have never been to this fucking point. It should have never been to this fucking point, to be honest. And if there were any like malicious intent or any wrong wording that George said, then you have every right to respond to it. But I feel as though that all of this thing shouldn't really be taken that goddamn serious. And again, this is just the internet thing, bro. The internet is just taking every single thing seriously. And they're being one-sided. Like you people have no fucking life at all, bro. You people have no fucking life at all, bro. Like, I'm dead ass serious, bro. What do you do this shit for, bro? What do you do this shit? And again, I cannot stress this shit enough, bro. This type of shit needs to fucking stop. Nobody, like, literally nobody on Twitter fucking learned about the whole Quite situation. Nobody learns about that shit. And again, look at the fucking dislikes, bro. People are fucking insane, bro. Crazy. I'm starting to feel like communication is non-existent in the creator space. Facts. That right there, this right here is complete facts. And It all should have been handled in public. Also facts. Also facts. This whole situation sounds like miscommunication and regret, not essay. Facts. Absolute facts. Absolute fucking facts. It's crazy, bro. How funny that the British group freaked out when George put his hands on Katie's waist, but that none of them say anything about her friend's snip rep, who sexually abuses Brio. Do these guys only support the victim that benefits them? The fuck is happening there? Shit. Wow. Is that another Minecraft YouTuber? I believe that Katie I believe that Katie is upset about the situation, but being sexually assaulted and regretted something that you did is totally different. I've been assaulted, groomed, and raped. Her story is making us look like a joke. This should have dealt with in the DMs. Exactly, bro. Exactly. All of this shit should have been handled if they just talk it out. All of this shit should have just been handled if all of this shit was just been talked about in the first fucking place. None of this internet video shit, none of this going for clicks and drama farm. Talk about this on the fucking DM, bro. Or in real life. Because it's just going to set aside a whole bunch of miscommunication or allegations and shit like that. And it's just setting aside like people that are actually fucking victims of this shit. Like Katie is a fucking a-hole for that shit, bro. If she feels comfortable with the shit that George is doing, fucking speak to him about it. Fucking say that I'm not comfortable with the shit that you're doing. Instead of just letting that shit flow around and then you speak about it on the internet. Why? You need validation, you need sympathy, you need pity. The fuck is wrong with you people, bro? And that is the mistake that I mistakenly fucking do for years on end, bro. Literally all the time of my life. All the time on the internet, I talk about how my life is or how my family is just down the fucking third. It was fucking shitty of me to do all that. I deleted all the videos, bro. Like, bro, it's crazy as hell, bro. Like, all of this shit should have just been handled on the fucking DMs, bro. DMs. Christ almighty, dude. I don't even know how the fuck this comes about, bro, but like this is the reason why, you know, this is the reason why I'm very fucking skeptical about trying to be friends with people or trying to joke around with people, bro. You can't even joke around with people anymore. Because you'll be called out for a lot of shit. You'll be called out for a lot of fucking shit. And it happens to a lot of people too. I should have never associated myself with people on Discord. Not even gonna hold you, bro. I'm not saying that shit because I say I don't make mistakes. Like I said, bro. I said a lot of dumbass shit on that fucking Discord thing. But I feel as though that there's a ton of miscommunication on that factor, and it just leads to a whole bunch of fuck shit that shouldn't really be that goddamn serious. And again, I was that person that made that mistake. I was that person that made that mistake. And I took full accountability and responsibility on that shit. But do they want to hear that? No, of fucking course they don't. Why? Because it doesn't fit their validate. It doesn't fit them. It doesn't fit their agenda. It doesn't fit what they're speaking about. All they want to be is victims. And that is scary. That shit is scary, bro. So, George not found, you know, I guess he said his thing. And I agree with him. His friends comes in behalf of him, pretty much agreeing what George is saying. So like yeah, it's just another one of these Twitter things. It's just another one of these fucking situations where people are just going for one side and not the other, and not hearing about the other side's fucking point of view. They're just like, oh my god, hell yes. I mean, not hell yes, but I mean like, oh my god, I feel so bad. I will support you in every single way possible. Insane. Like, get a fucking grip, bro. This type of shit is scary as fuck for being like a creator or some shit. And being from someone that dealt with that shit, bro. This just set aside a lot of things, bro. Don't ever get too close with motherfuckers on the internet. Don't make any sort of jokes to motherfuckers on the internet, because you do not know what they are behind the fucking screens. They could be using that. They could be taking advantage of your invulnerable emotions. They could take advantage of your edgy humor and all this other shit in order to use that shit against you. It's scary, bro. You just gotta, you just gonna have to talk to motherfuckers on the internet. Not the internet. You just got to talk to motherfuckers on in real life, bro. And even that is fucking scary. But at least it's like it's less scary than on the internet. I don't know, but this just set aside a whole new meaning, a whole new fucking meaning on what friends or what crushes are for. It just says a whole new meaning of friendship, whole new meaning of relationship as a whole, and it's absolutely fucking scary, to be honest. Again, I just don't like the fact that people are just making themselves out to be a fucking victim. And again, I'll be on that shit too. I took accountability on that. It is not right. It's not right. But it's never right to make yourself become a fucking victim. It is scary to a lot of fucking people. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. I mean, honestly, bro, they just need to get off of Twitter. Not gonna hold you, bro. I would say this right then and there, bro. I think Twitter is one of the worst fucking apps of all time. And I mean that with the utmost fucking like, or like with the utmost like, I don't know what I was supposed to go with that, but one of the reasons why I deleted Twitter a year ago. Yeah, bro. This is a thing, bro. Unless you're like a creator of some kind, bro, like suiting yourself on the internet, and especially on fucking Twitter, can literally just rot your fucking brain and just makes you into like a malicious fucking hateful person. All because of what? You don't get any love in real life. You don't get anyone that loves you in real life or some shit like that. So you just go to Twitter just looking for people that loves you and all this other shit. It's crazy, bro. I don't miss it either one of the best decisions I ever made. Gotta be careful out in this world. Facts. You gotta be careful of who you're friends with. You gotta be careful who you make jokes around. You gotta be careful which females you're talking to. You gotta be careful with a lot of fucking shit. You gotta be careful with the group of people that you hang around too, because They could be like the nicest looking people on the planet, and they could just turn their backs on you like just like that, bro. It is fucking scary to think about that shit too. And it's not only on the internet; it is in real life too. And I wish I thought about this shit like fucking what, like 2020 or 2019, bro. But like I was a motherfucker that was driven by emotions like a lot, and I just let that shit took over me and made me to a person that I'm not really am. Why? Because I just kept on hanging out with bad people. It's a thing that happens to a lot of people too. But I guess people just don't really see that as like, oh well, I bet something must be going on in his life. I would try to fix that. No, it's just like, oh yeah, this motherfucker's an asshole and he needs to be stoned to death. Like, it's just like, wow, dude, crazy as fuck. Crazy as fuck, dude. I don't really think this is going to be ending, bro. I don't think this type of internet fiasco shit is going to end. It's just going to keep on continuing. It's going to get more worse and worse and worse until we get another Inquisitor situation where someone just makes tons of false allegations and overwhelms a nigga mind to the point of fucking suicide. Y'all learn nothing from the Quiet situation. Y'all learn nothing from the Inquisitor situation. Y'all just gonna keep going with this shit. Why? Because it's fun for you. Like, you could have played any games. You could have walked outside. You could have go out to the beach, hang out with friends. No, you want to make somebody feel fucking insufferable. Without knowing the full context or the full fucking proof. Scary as fuck, dog, bro. Oh, what the hell did I just say? It's scary as fuck. Nobody learns about this shit. And the reason why the same mistake keeps fucking happening. The same shit keeps happening. Why? Because people won't fucking learn. I learned from my mistake. Why couldn't they learn from their mistakes? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't even know how this shit will come about, but when will people learn? The only way people will learn if it will happen to them. That's how people will learn. If the same type of shit happens to them, they will fucking learn. Oof. Generation Z is fucking cooked, bro. And these gonna be the motherfucker that's gonna be future presidents, bro. These gonna be the motherfucker that will be future presidents. Motherfucker who will be scientists. People that will be creating new things and new innovative shit, bro. These gonna be the people that's gonna be taking over the world. We're fucking cooked. Motherfuckers in their 30s and 40s and 50s are gonna be acting a fucking fool. The light, bam, gone. Electric bill, higher up. Motherfucker, electric gonna be gone. You'll be sleeping in heat. New laptops? Well, that shit's gonna be busting in a fucking week. Niggas need to get their act together, bro, and grow the fuck up, bro. Seriously.